Getting started with the grip and the fit measurement aspect of it, can express how important this particular part is. We've got a saying that we use quite often in bowling for the coaches aspect, that you can't outcoach a bad fit. So it's critical that you make sure the players have proper fits with their bowling equipment, and something that you're going to probably encounter quite a bit at the high school level with the kids coming in. They're still in their growing stages. It's still going to be changing quite a bit, and a lot of them probably haven't been fitted recently for some of their equipment. Some of them are maybe still throwing house balls and trying to change that aspect of it too. So something that's very critical, and something as a coach you need to know what to look for, and we'll give you some ideas on that aspect of it, and some tips that we can go along with that. The key components of that particular part, obviously we want to look at the span, making sure that the span is correct, so as they put their hand in the ball, they're not having to stretch, or in probably more common areas it's going to get a little bit too short, and they're going to be kind of gripping a little bit and scrimping out a little bit, and probably causing them to squeeze the ball just a little bit. Next would be the hole sizes, making sure that, again, that the fit is maintained in there as they again get older and grow a little bit. Chances are probably the holes are going to get a little bit tight, not going to be able to get their fingers and their thumb into the ball properly, and it's going to cause them to not be able to do a lot of things that you're going to try to do with the fundamentals that we've talked about in the other videos. Also with the pitches, this is one that you're probably not going to be able to look at specifically, but we'll give you some things to kind of be on the alert for, so that then you can refer them to your pro shop professional and have them take a look at the player's grip and fit if they need to. But there's going to be some things that you can kind of look at with callousing and some blistering and things like that that may indicate that some of the pitches might be not really conducive for that particular player's hand. We'll take a look at some other problems with that the fit and the grip may cause for that part. Some things that you can kind of be on the alert for, to give you some indications of whether you need to be checking that, or whether you need to send your player into that pro shop professional and let them take a look at that. Okay, with the span, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's probably going to be one of those things where it's going to be changing quite a bit from your freshmen to your seniors. All those players are still probably going to be growing a little bit. Their spans are going to be changing quite a bit. I would recommend at least probably 2 or 3 times each semester that you take a look at their hands and kind of check for that, especially the younger players, and make sure that they aren't outgrowing what they have fit there, so that they can be taken back to the pro shop and let them refit them and get them into the proper grip. Another factor along that line is to make sure that if they have multiple bowling balls, that all the balls fit the same. That's something I see a lot even at the collegiate level with a lot of my players. Is if they come in, they have multiple bowling balls, and a lot of them are all drilled differently, and that's not conducive either. You want to have them the ability to be able to repeat and do the things they're trying to do, and for that they need to have a proper fit, and it needs to be the same in all the equipment that they have. Next on that line would be the type of grip. We basically have 2 options, fingertip or conventional, that we're going to be looking at. Highly recommend that all the players go to fingertip. You may have some of your new players coming in with a conventional grip, just maybe even still throwing a house ball type of thing, but at this level you're going to want them to get into their own equipment, and along that lines you're going to want them to get into the fingertip aspect. So we'll talk about what to look with that, what a proper spanning for the fingertip would be for that aspect of it, and the difference between the fingertip and the conventional. The third one is kind of another, again, old school type of thing that we really don't recommend whatsoever. It's called the semi-fingertip. This was something that used to be used quite extensively many years ago, where players were moving from the conventional up to the fingertip, and kind of they would give that middle road aspect of it. But the downside of that is that it puts their joints in between, or puts their fingers in between the joints when they're putting their hand in the ball, and it's not really something that you want to have done with the bowling ball with their hand. It's going to cause probably pain, some blistering, things like that. It's not going to be comfortable, so it's just not something that you really want to do. So those that are going from conventional up to fingertip want to go all the way to the full fingertip and go to that point.